Happy Wednesday. Hope you're all having a good one. I'm going to be solo today because Sheets is at the Yankee game. Maybe we should stack the Yankees just because Sheets is there because it worked out pretty well last time. No, seriously though, I'll get into the MLB stuff. I'll talk through what I'm doing NBA wise. Feel free to pop in with any questions or thoughts. Want to remind everybody, we've got some awesome free trials on the site right now. It's a pretty amazing product. If you think about it, we've got all of Saber Sim's information, all of Sheets' projections, all of Goldie's projections, my content, Brody's content, Brandon Cruz for NASCAR, Chan for League of Legends. And it's all basically a similar price to SaberSim. So if you guys are considering anything, I think you should check it out, and free trial might be a good way to do it. Anyway, yeah, please join us. And with that said, also hit the like and subscribe, etc. And I'll go through what I'm doing on this slate. All right, so pitching wise, I'm just going to match up my screen with the one that I'm sharing here. So pitching wise, I hate that they have the SPRP on and guys who are relief pitchers, like Tyler Glasnow somehow is a relief pitcher on DraftKings. Get it together, DraftKings. Come on, this is ridiculous. I'm trying to read my exposures, and I've got Glasnow as a relief pitcher. So my highest owned pitchers are Chris Bassett, Tyler Glasnow, and the Spence kid at 4K. After that, Luzardo, Pepio, Peralta. That's the way I've got the pitching shaked out. I think there's a lot of ways you can go. I mentioned basically all these guys here at the top, but I think that's pretty much where I'm going to keep my pool a little bit, to six pitchers and just live with the results. As far as stacks goes, I like a lot of them today. I actually expect some runs to be scored out there, but I am starting with San Diego as my main stack. And my biggest buy-in. However, my highest owned players are coming from the Dodger game: Ohtani, Betts, and who is my other one from the Dodgers that I've got a bunch of? Ohtani, Betts. Oh, and I've got a lot of Will Smith. After that, I like the Dodgers stack, but I like them more as a mini stack, and I like the full stack of Texas. I like the full stack of San Diego, and I like the full stack of Atlanta, and just hope that Steele hasn't gotten it together yet. So that's sort of what I'm doing today. In terms of, exact ownership, I can tell you that in terms of like I guess I'll go position by position. First base, although I've got him more in the outfield, Ohtani's my highest owned player. Cronenworth, Freddie Freeman, basically what I said, then Vlad Guerrero and Nate Lowe. Second base, Tristan Wade, where you're spending down for a 5-man Padre stack. Ozzy Albies, Davis Schneider, Monasterio, Lux, and Semien. Third base, Machado, Monasterio, Josh Smith. Short in the Atlanta stacks, Justin Turner in Blue Jay stacks, and Kike Hernandez in Dodger stacks. Shortstop, Mookie Betts, Corey Seager, Orlando Arcia are my highest owned. That's pretty much where I think I'm going to stick with those. Catcher, I've got Campusano with San Diego stacks, but mostly Will Smith is my highest owned. I do have some Fortes, Nick Fortes, just because I needed the 2,200 in a few spots. Then Jonah Heim and Alejandro Kirk. I am going to play this minimum cost outfielder, Hurtubise. I'm going to just play him a ton. He's 2K in the outfield. It allows me to get my Dodgers in Texas and San Diego's all comfortably. So he's my highest owned, but then it's Ohtani, Teoscar Hernandez, Fernando Tatis, all about the same, except for a little more on Ohtani. Derek Hill for Texas and Texas stacks at 2K also. Acuna, Evan Carter, Pajes for the Dodgers, Harris, Ozuna. You guys get the picture of what I'm doing at Adolis Garcia. So that's a quick rundown of what I'm doing as far as MLB goes. It's not a whole lot, to talk about on this slate. So feel free to drop in, what you're doing. Because like I said, when I'm doing solo baseball shows, we could run a Saber Sim build if you guys want to. But otherwise, I'm just going to transition over to basketball and show you guys what I did with my build. Now, I'm going to go back and hand edit these because that's the way that I've been doing it. And that's the way historically that's really worked for me, although it hasn't worked for me as much recently. Now, I did want exposure to a bunch of different captains tonight because these game ones, I feel like it could be a little bit, flimsy. Who was Drew Holiday was, I believe, the captain on all the winners last night. I love Naz Reid, allows you to get the other guy spend ups in. So he's the one I've got the most of in that. I'm going to probably end up with like 15% of him. I think I probably end up with 15% of Luka and 15% of Ant as well. probably sub 10% on Kyrie, probably 5% at most of Nickeil Alexander-Walker. Probably same thing with, probably same thing with Towns, just considering that he's going to be pretty popular as a captain. Be overweight on Gafford, overweight PJ Washington, overweight Lively, underweight Gobert, and then I will take some shots with Tim Hardaway Jr. and Jaden Hardy, just in case for Dallas. I think you're going to see some different looks early in this series, so I'm curious to see how that plays out. We saw Hardy get some nice runs with Dallas down the stretch in the last series. I could see that happening again, but I also could see a hot shooting night from Tim Hardaway leading him that way, and allows you to get in Luka and Cat if you want to play those cheap guys. So that's sort of what I was thinking in terms of overall exposure. So now remember, they're not factoring the captain. So Luka's really at 90% of my lineups, not 77. I did want to force in extra Kyrie. I do like Kyrie. I think Kyrie is going to have a better series than he did in the last one, fantasy point wise. But I might be a little bit high on him, so I'm going to probably get a little less Kyrie than this. I'll definitely be higher than Edwards than 45%. It'll be somewhere around 70%. I don't want this much Gobert, so it's something that I'll probably end up around 25%, maybe 30, just because I want to try and take some stands against certain things. I love Towns, but again, foul trouble. There's always a path for him to bust, so I am going to be a little bit under the field on him. I am going to be above the field on Derek Lively. I'm going to be above the field on Naz Reid. Even though this doesn't have me above the field, I'm going to end up with literally 50, 60, 70% of Naz Reid in the flex, where he's not my 15% owned captain or whatever. So that's just something to think about. Gafford, I'm a little below the field right now. I don't mind being above the field. It's with the bigs. I decided to go. I wanted a little more PJ Washington. And again, you're not getting way over the field, but I do like that he's going to be a little bit lower owned. Like to get a little over the field, probably like to get a little closer to 30% ownership on him. Then we've got, just down the way, it's pretty standard. And you could see I'm getting a bunch of different, we don't know. Exum was faded out in the last series. He's another one that you could see bounce back in this series and play more, potentially if they want him as a wing defender, something they're desperately going to need in this series. So I could see that happening. Conley's still officially questionable, very low on him in this first game. But, again, you can see it's a pretty spread out ownership that I'm going to narrow down and tighten up when I do my hand stuff, when I do my hand whittling down from XYZ to whatnot. So let's just say let's just do something here, and we'll do a build since it's kind of quiet in here on a Wednesday. It's a split slate. Seems like a lot of people are elsewhere. We still don't have the Dodger lineup in, which is what I'm waiting on. So let's just do it out of 2,000. To make it a little faster, and we'll run it for the big one. We'll run 20, and I'm fine with all this. I sometimes I'll take my correlation on slates at 8 games or less down to like 8. Contest sim settings, and then let's do it for the lottery. Where are we at? Lottery, where are we at? Come on. I know you're in here somewhere. I wish it was lottery. We just call it lottery for everything. So there we go. Oh, awesome, MJ. You're the man. Thanks for dropping that in. Dodgers, that's Ohtani, Freeman, Smith, CT. What? Oh, catcher. Wait, what is that? I don't even know what that. Oh, Will Smith catcher. Okay, got it. Sorry. Kike, Lux, Pajes, Hayward, Hernandez. No, not Kike. Oh, who is that? Who's playing here? I don't even understand. Let me double check here. If it's out, I'll just grab the lineup real quick so I can take a quick gander at it. Again, guys, please hit the like button. We want to keep doing these for free. I know it's kind of dries up a little bit during the summer. It's really the dead time of DFS to some extent, but we do appreciate that. If you guys can don't mind just clicking that quick like button real quick. All right, let's do what we got here. And who is the T Oscar? That's the CT. That's what I couldn't understand. The C, and then it was T Hernandez. That's what it was. All right, that's why I was trying to figure out how am I missing this? So Kike batting 9th. Okay, good to know. But and it's going to be they're going to throw a few relief pitchers at the Dodgers, but that's an important one. Again, I'm using a lot of the Dodger 3-4 mans. I have some 4-4s, and then even just I have some 2-offs with Padre stacks with Ohtani and Betts. I think I feel very good about the upside of those lineups. So that's what I'm doing. Here, we got this done. Let's just change a couple things so we can, let's put Tyler Glasnow at 22 and let's put Bassett at 17. Really like Bassett. Just want to keep emphasizing that. And let's see what they give us just raw, and then we'll run the sims, and we'll probably go to change min uniques too. I'm gonna guess that's what I'm gonna do. So we'll go through this. Please, again, if there's any questions or thoughts, fire them on in. Otherwise, I will be out of here a little early. My kid is going to Japan for his, like he's 18 and he's gonna go on his first trip, like big trip like that tomorrow without any, he's just with his great aunt, my aunt. So it's I'm gonna be taking him to work actually after this, and then spending some time with him tonight. So trying to focus mostly on that, as well as taking a peek into the basketball game later, and hopefully looking at my winning lineups in baseball. All right, it's coming through. Let's see what we're gonna get in terms of what SaberSim thinks we should do. But also, let's do this. I like to do this even for 20 builds, and then we'll run the sim and see what we end up with. So it looks like right off the bat, they kept the same pitchers that I did. They threw 11 pitchers out there for 20 lineups. That's a lot. I'm surprised by that a little bit. And let's see if this, I don't think it's not going to change anything that much. I think we're still going to have a similar type of exposure. So you can see where they went high on Pepio. I certainly don't mind that. High on Pepio, higher on Luzardo than I am by a little bit. I do like Luzardo a lot as a pitcher for what it's worth. And I like Pepio. I just think there's other options. The Mitch Spence, I just couldn't avoid that. I couldn't resist what it allowed me to get. I didn't get to the Jared Jones as much. They're lower on Glasnow. I've got plenty of Glasnow. I understand it's not a great matchup, but Glasnow has been, until his last start, was the best pitcher in baseball this season. I didn't get to the Cortez or King, but I do like them. I think King is an interesting one to get different with, because no one will play him. I'm sorry, no one's really going to play him. I think that's an interesting one to get different with. I also think that Peralta, even though we're showing him at 20% ownership, I'm playing Peralta mostly with Glasnow for what it's worth. As far as the hitters go, let's see what actually, let's take a look at like the team stacks. Let's do it like that. All right, so 5-man stacks, 85% San Diego. Okay, so we're in agreement there. And then Atlanta, and then Texas. All right, all very fair. No 4-mans. Let's see the 3-mans that it had with it. 10%. It was no 4-mans, right? Yeah. 10% of this, blah, blah, blah. So you've got the White Sox, Texas, Pittsburgh, Seattle. Nothing that special there. 2-mans, Atlanta. They really didn't get any Dodgers. And I think that's going to happen to a lot of people today. So I am going to, as I always say, force in some extra Dodgers. It's not just because I'm biased. It's because they are the best offense in baseball with the most upside, in my opinion. Anyway, guys, again, thanks for being with us. I don't think there's a whole lot more to cover on this one. I'll be in Discord if anybody needs anything, and I'm going to say good luck, and I hope you guys crush it tonight. I'll see you guys hopefully at the top of the leaderboards.